So in this video, I'm going to go over how you can use Amazon Search Query Performance Report to identify what part of your Amazon funnel buyers drop off, and we can fix it to further get those sales up. So if you don't know what the Search Query Performance Report is, it's pretty much a breakdown of the top queries that Amazon realizes that your brand or your product is seeing the highest traction and search volume from. So they give you a quick breakdown here. It's the top queries that lead customers to your brand's products. And it includes a bunch of different metrics that you can analyze to further see what part of the funnel you're seeing a drop off. So this is like what we like to call the ICAP funnel. Let me explain what that is. Now, before you go here, if you don't know how to set this up, go here and you're going to go to brands and you can hit brand analytics. Once you're here, you want to go into search analytics, search query performance. Now, there's a few ways you can filter this out. There's brand view and ASIN view. I recommend if you have a lot of similar products, just to do brand view because you can have a lot of similar search terms. There's no point in finding all these different terms when you can figure out these all for your brand. But if you have a lot of different products and a lot of different terms, you definitely want to go to ASIN view and add in your ASIN product and hit a reporting range. Now, be aware of this. Sometimes if you don't have enough data, it will not give you any information. It will show anything here about any search terms you have because Amazon needs a lot of data. So the easiest thing is if you have a lot of similar products, go to brand view and it should give you lots of data. Now, once you're here, I like to do it by monthly. Weekly is too short. There's too much data and it's not a big enough time period to analyze. You can do monthly or quarterly. I like to do monthly. Now, once you do monthly, set the year obviously and go by the last month and hit apply. Now, when we're here, there's a few things we want to analyze. So what is the ICAP funnel? So the ICAP funnel is pretty much your impressions. So we have impressions first, impressions, okay? And then we have clicks. How many clicks are we getting from those impressions? Then we have add to carts. How many people add to cart once they click our listing? And last thing, obviously, is purchases. How many people actually buy the product? So this is the ICAP funnel. Obviously, it gets smaller as you go down the funnel because you're going to have more impressions, you're going to have more clicks, you're going to have more impressions, you're going to have less clicks than impressions, you're going to have less add to carts than clicks, and you're going to have less purchases than add to carts. Ideally, that's the ideal situation. So what can we do here? Let me explain to you exactly how we set this up. Okay, so how can we analyze the data to see exactly where we are missing out sales or what part of our Amazon funnel or listing is leaving us back? So first thing you want to look at is the search query score. So Amazon automatically gives a score to the most relevant keywords or terms for your product. So it's rated by highest to lowest. Now, this is based off a bunch of stuff. Relevancy, search volume, and overall category relevancy, also another thing. So if you have a look at this term right here, it has the number one score. And why is that? What is that based off of? Well, it's based off of search volume. It's an insane amount of search volume, okay? But it also takes into account how relevant this term is for our product or brand. So we are getting a good amount of, we're actually getting some brand share here. We're getting some clicks here if you have a look. Brand share here. We're getting clicks. We're actually getting sales here. Now, if it was just a lot of search volume with no relevancy, it wouldn't be this high up. So it does a bunch of stuff. So the second term, you have a look here, is second query score. It has low search volume, but Amazon identifies that this is super relevant for our products or our brand. So I really recommend leaving it as it is because if you set it by, so if we set it by example, let's say we want to see the highest search volume terms. If we set it by search volume, you can have a look here. But now look at the search query score. It's giving us like for the main one, 435. This keyword is not relevant for this brand at all, like the 0% brand share. So there's no point in analyzing these keywords. So always set it by the highest search query, 1 to 10. And then from there, you can sort of filter out of the top 50 search query scores, the most important ones that we should focus on. Now, there's a few other things we really want to take into account. So the next thing is impressions. Impressions is sort of a skewed data here. And I say that for a few reasons. Because there's a different count for mobile and desktop. So for example, we have all these impressions here that are showing for each individual keywords. But it can be skewed because if you look at, let's say, desktop, it stops after page 1. So it just stops here, and all of these counts as impressions. All of this is impressions that I'm doing right now. But if you're on mobile, there is no page 1 or page 2 usually. Sometimes it just scrolls endlessly. You can continuously scroll. So Amazon sees all of that as its own data, and it can be very skewed. So what I recommend is don't focus too much on impressions. Obviously, it's important. I would focus more so on search volume and then clicks, okay? Now, clicks are super important. Clicks identifies whether this keyword is important for us and whether we're having a good click share. Now, let's analyze exactly how we can figure out whether we're above the market benchmark or we're below it. So let's have a look at the first keyword here. So for example, if we have a look here for impressions, we have a 0.74% brand share for this. So you can see the brand count is 66,000 compared to the total count, which is almost 9 million, okay? So 0.74. Now, what can we do with this data? Now, let's get into, out of those impressions, how many clicks do we get? So if we go down here, let's go to clicks. So out of all those impressions, we have a brand share of 0.59 clicks. So what does that mean? So our clicks is at 0.59, sorry, and our brand share of impressions is 0.74. So there's a significant drop off. We see a drop off in the clicks and impressions. So what does this indicate off the bat? We have a lot of more people seeing our listing, but the share decreases when they actually want to click our listing. So what does this mean? Either we have a pricing issue, main image issue, review issue, rating issue, or competitors are just marketing the product better than theirs. So we can identify, okay, for this keyword, something's being missed out, especially if this is a very important keyword. Why is there a drop off in the clicks? It's usually due to the main image. That's one thing. And then pricing, obviously another big thing. So we can identify, okay, we have an issue here. So can we further fix it? That's the next step. Can I fix this issue? Can I improve the click share rate so that it seems the brand share? Because obviously for a keyword as big as this, if we increase this to this, you'll see a significant increase in sales. So that's a very important thing that you want to look into. Now, after clicks, obviously it's add to carts. So go to add to carts. So what is that add to cart share? So for this brand, their brand share for add to carts is at 0.1%. Okay, so 0.1% from 0.59. So actually, we see sort of a drop off, a big drop off. But what I want you to consider is cart ads is also a very skewed data because some people just buy the product upright without adding it to the cart. So that's also something you want to consider. But if you want to look into it, we go to purchases, purchase rate. So for this keyword, purchase rate is at 0.8%. So it's a big drop off. So we can see in the entire funnel, we're seeing a big drop off. So our impressions was at 0.74. Okay. Then we go to clicks is at 0.59. Okay. We see a drop there. Then we go to cart ads, 0.1, another one. And then we go into purchases, 0.8, 0.08. So you can identify, this is how it's usually going to look, but we want to see exactly the ones that have a difference. So some might have a bigger purchase rate compared to click rate, which is very interesting. You can identify which parts of the funnel is making this difference. So let's go on to a different example that I'm going to show you right here. So this term right here, let's have a look at this term. So just for some context, this is a brand term. So this is their branded term. So we have a look at the search volume. We have a look at the brand share. So they have a 29% brand share of impressions. Okay. Is that good or is that not good? You have to consider whether a lot of people are advertising on your actual brand name and they're trying to steal your competitors. So that's one thing, 29% there. Now let's go into clicks. So clicks, we see a big click increase, right? So clicks go up to 80%. So obviously this makes sense because people are searching for our brand. So they see our product, so the clicks are naturally going to grow up. Now, why are the impressions much lower? Because we have a lot of other competitors advertising on our terms, right? And they might be ranking organically for it too. But obviously people are searching for our brand. So our click share should naturally be much higher than your impressions. This is how it naturally should be for your branded terms, okay? Now, we can go into the next part of the funnel. We go to cart ads. It's much higher. So that's pretty good. 92% cart ads. People are literally just looking for our product, so they're ready to buy it. Cart ads, 92%. And the next thing is purchase. So 91%. Pretty much the same. So this is really good. This makes the same sense for all of your branded terms. Your impressions are always going to be the lowest because you're going to have a lot of other listings that aren't yours. But your click-through rate, your add to cart, and purchases should relatively be high. If it's not high, that means, okay, people are searching for your brand, but when they go on your listing, something is not compelling to them. Maybe your Shopify site or your D2C site is much more compelling and your Amazon listing is not compelling at all. So you can realize, okay, I'm just missing out tons of buyers who are looking for my product, but they don't end up buying it on Amazon. So you have to reinvent your listings, re-optimize everything and fix that issue right up front. So let's have a look at one last term. So this is not a brand term. This is also another pretty big term in this space for this brand. So let's have a look at this. So brand share 1.92%. Okay. So they have a good amount of share in this market, especially for 34,000 search volume monthly. Now let's go into clicks. So impressions of 1.92. Clicks is 2%. So okay, that's a good sign. So our clicks are better than our impressions. So what is the main? Probably we're underutilizing our PPC. We're not advertising enough on this listing because our impressions are not high enough. But we know that based off of the actual data, our clicks are pretty good compared to that. So when people see our actual thing, there's a high chance they'll convert and actually want to click onto our listing. So we know for this term, okay, we should probably advertise more and see if there's enough data here to further build off of and if it goes up. You can also have a look at the click rate and analyze this against your other terms to see if it's good or not. So we know our clicks are good. So this is a good keyword for us. Now let's go into add to carts and everything. So we can go to brand share. So there is a drop off in cart ads, but that's normal. That's normal regardless. There's always going to be a drop off there. But now there shouldn't be a big drop off between cart ads and purchases. So let's have a look here on what's that looking like. So it's like 0.57 to 0.4. So a little bit, but it's still isn't horrible. Because if we look at the top keyword, we're at 0.8, 0.08, sorry. And this one we're at 0.4. So this is a much better term for this brand, right? It's a branded term. We have good click-through rate for it, obviously. And it's a good opportunity. So what would I further implement with this keyword or anything of this? I would see if I can add it further into our listing copy, into our title. Because if our click-through rate is high, can we add this keyword anywhere on the top of our title? Can we add it on our main image anywhere on the packaging? And then obviously start running more advertising for it. This is what's really going to help you move the needle. And this is why this tool is so powerful, because it shows Amazon's giving you the literal cut-through data of like, these are the most important keywords for our product. And you want to take this data as the most accurate compared to Helium 10 or any other thing, because this is literally Amazon's data based off of all your past performance and what they're internally tracking. And we have no method of exactly figuring out how they're tracking this stuff, but we should trust it because this is the platform we're selling on, and obviously we should figure out what's working the best for us. So this is just another way for how to use the tool. Also, another thing. So for this branded term here that I'm having a look at right here, if our brand share is 30%, this is not ideal. This means we're letting just other people advertising on our product. So what does this mean? We should run more advertising for our own branded terms. If I have a look here at my doc right here, anything below 80% for branded search term market share is poor, 89% is good, and above 95% is really, really good. So we're just letting our competitors advertise on our actual products. Now, this takes into account a bunch of stuff. We don't have enough listings, obviously, for advertising. Maybe if you only have like 5 to 10 products, we can't advertise all our products on the page. But if you do, then you should run all of that and just get overall more market share. Because for them, if 30% is quite low, we are not even taking up 50% of the actual listings when people search our brand name, which is an issue. And obviously, people want to see our brand. But the thing is, if they search our product and they see our competitors that might be cheaper price, have better bundle, so on and so forth, they're going to steal our customers who are already searching for us. And we do not want that. So this is something you should always really consider. It's very important. This is why this tool is so powerful. You can analyze exactly where in the funnel you're seeing a drop off, what to improve upon, what to add in your listing copy, what PPC campaigns to start running more of, run less of, and so on and so forth. So hopefully this video gave you further insight into how to use the Amazon Search Query Performance Report. If you don't already know how to use it, it's very powerful. If you already do a lot of sales on Amazon, like 7 figures, you want to identify how you can further boost your conversion rate or your traffic overall. Now, if you're interested, me and my team can do a whole audit for you where we analyze your brand. So I'll put the link in bio. Put your ASIN in. Me and my team will get back to you within a day or two of a whole brand analysis, how you can further scale, whether it's your main image, your SEO is not optimized, your design issues, your PPC campaigns are not set up properly. We can help you with all of this and give you a whole blueprint to further help you scale. So link in bio. Also subscribe to the channel. I post weekly videos for how to scale your brand on Amazon. And take care. Appreciate you watching this video.